Oh, how are we all doing? We all right? Oh, man, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. So I'll introduce myself. My name's Mo. It's short for Mohammed. But I'm not one of the good Mohammeds. I'm not one of the good ones. By which I should explain, I mean, like, I'm not a very good Muslim. Not like... I realise the good Mohammed sounds like it could be a sitcom or something. I've committed so many sins against Islam, my foreskin started growing back. That's kind of like where I am on the religious belief spectrum. I have to keep getting circumcised just to make my parents happy, but anything for Allah, right? You know, yeah. A little bit more about me. I'm originally from Syria. So when I say it's great to be here, I literally mean it. Not sure if you've been following the news, but not been the greatest time for my people. But I've been fortunate enough to grow up here. I grew up in London, although I was born in Syria. And having my birthplace as Damascus written in my British passport makes the whole process of air travel quite fun for me, shall we say, you know. Because I've had to get used to the random selections. You know, I've even asked airport security, is this a random selection? And they say, yes, we've randomly selected you from amongst the Mohammeds that are travelling this evening. It just happened to be your turn. You know, I've got used to the stupid questions, like, are you carrying anything sharp with you, sir? It's like, no, every Syrian knows you carry something blunt, you sharpen it on the plane. Like, obvious shit, right? You know? I had a situation quite recently. I was travelling through Gatwick, and I was standing in duty free, you know, shopping, cooling, minding my own business. So, you know, I'd made it through. You know, you'd think at this point I'd be safe, right? But I got confronted by this security guard called Raj, and not being racist, he had a name tag and stuff. And Raj said to me, "Excuse me, sir, you've been randomly selected for an additional search." I wasn't in the mood to hear that. I was obviously really embarrassed. It was in front of everyone in duty free. And bearing in mind he picked me because of the way I looked, I kind of thought Raj, of all people, should know a bit better. You know? Like bare brown on brown crime, bruv, you get me, right? So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to have a bit of fun with this, right? I'm going to try and wind him up, make him feel a bit uncomfortable. So he takes me into a room, he closes the door, I look him dead in the eye and I go, "Hey, I saw the way you watched me during security. This, wasn't a random selection, was it, Raj?" Says, "I don't know what you mean." Says, "Shh. It's okay. We're safe. We're alone. Why do we keep playing these games, Raj?" But it backfired. We ended up sleeping together. So lonely guys are moving in with him next week. My mum's furious because he's not Syrian, you know. If you're going to be gay, at least find yourself a nice Syrian boy, you know. I get to travel some interesting places with work. I went to the notoriously feminist kingdom of Saudi Arabia not too long ago, and I was shocked by some of the things I saw, right? Like, I watched the cartoon Scooby-Doo, like, in my hotel room because it was on. And literally, I shit you not, like, they'd blurred and pixelated Daphne's legs. And, like, I wanted to understand the rationale to that, because to me that sounds like, you know, my son, he would not be a pervert if not for those pesky kids, you know? I just, like, don't really... I didn't really get it. Obviously no drinking in Saudi Arabia. I like to drink. My parents, like, think I have a bit of a drink and drug problem. And I'm inclined to agree. I think I've got a huge problem with drink and drugs in that I can't afford them. Like, it's terribly frustrating. I've been thinking about checking myself into rehab just to give me a few weeks to save, you know? Just kind of come out blazing, you know? I feel like the drinking, like, my habits and stuff have, like, impact my ability to have a relationship. You know, I'm 31, I'm single, and, you know, in relationship terms for an Arab, that makes me, like, way over the hill. Right, like, my mum tried to set me up on a blind date quite recently with a Muslim Arab girl, but it turned out that meant I couldn't see her. Great eyes, though, stunning from here to here. Like, you know, what a personality. I got really niche kinks as well, which I think doesn't help. Like, for instance, I've just started seeing a professional dominatrix because I love to be humiliated. Thank you. Someone else will talk later. She just makes me sit on her lap and tell her my jokes. It's super kinky, guys. Now, the truth is, like, I've been quite unlucky in love. I've had so many heartbreaks in my life, I'm convinced all girls have FOMO, you know, like fear of mo. In fact, the last girl I was dating, right, she genuinely, she friend-zoned me while we were dating, right? And, like, I don't even believe in the friend zone, right? But she used those words on Valentine's Day, true story, right? And it fucked me up so much, right, that, like, I watched this Channel 4 documentary about sex robots, and ever since I've seen it, I keep having this recurring nightmare that I've bought one and she's friend-zoned me too. Yeah. Like, I just switch her on and she's just like, that's really sweet, Mo, but you're like a brother to me. It's not you, it's me. Maybe we can just be friends. I suppose if I got a Raj model, I might be all right, though. You guys have been lovely. I've been Mo Saffaf. Have a good night. Yeah, cheers.